My name is Lieutenant David Hipperson, and I'm from Georgina Community Church, and I am the pastor here. Because we have such an aging congregation, there are some that just can't come every Sunday. And so it made sense for them to continue to broadcast. And when they asked me whether we wanted to continue, when we started to open up more, I said, well, my understanding is because we have people at home that it makes sense to continue to do so. So here is our basic setup. Yes, we use an old cart, but it does the trick because we want it to be elevated much higher than this stand will allow us to. And the stand is a little bit wobbly, so I mean, really, we'd probably want to consider a better stand. But basically, we have just an iPad. I believe this is just an iPad 2. Basically, with our operation, the way that we do things, the reason why we've chosen just to have an iPad is because that's the simplest way. It was the most viable financially, and it just made sense for us. And we're not trying to make some kind of, award-winning broadcast. All we're trying to do is make sure that we are getting the message out to our people who are not able to attend, and whoever else that chooses to watch, we're encouraged by that as well. But really, the iPad is just our way of being able to do the simplest method possible to get the message out there and to still have a decent quality and not worry about all the bells and whistles that are involved with bigger cameras or sound systems. I mean, yes, that would be lovely, but that's not our intent. Our intent is to just be able to share our message to our people that are absent and to keep it simple. But we have our iPad and we go on to Meta Business on Facebook. And if you don't have the Meta Business Suite for your Facebook core page, it's actually a really good thing to have because you can do a lot of posting, a lot of timing of posts, those kinds of things. But when we do it, then we just create a post. So we create a post. We make sure it's going to where we want to go. We also have an Instagram page and we also have a youth page. So it's going to our Facebook news feed. Then we're going to hit live video. The feedback that I've been given from the congregants who watch, who can't make it in, they just really appreciate the ability to be able to watch from home. Obviously, sometimes it's glitchy because you're dealing with Wi-Fi in our setup. And so, when things happen, everybody's frustrated, but we work through it, and they just really appreciate the ability to be able to watch. And the sound, is never perfect, but it works very well, and they hear what they want to hear, what they need to hear. And I think they just really, really appreciate it. And from the things that they've said, they always mentioned, we're watching from home, and we're so blessed by what we see today. But the important thing is we film this way, landscape mode, but you actually have to start your video in portrait mode. You have to start the setup in portrait mode. So now we're going to go to live video. Then we rotated it because you can see these icons on the bottom. Watch what happens. Now they're on the bottom again of the screen, which means that is set properly. I just want to show you just quickly, if it's not correct, and you started like this from that page and you went live video, you'll see where the icons are. They're there, which means your video is going to be tilted. You see people that do that sometimes by accident. They don't realize and then they can't figure it out. So you go back to portrait, live video, then rotate it. And now you're ready to hit play. Volunteers are so important to the operation because, they're the foundation of getting things done. I mean, as we know in the Salvation Army, we don't always have, unlimited resources in terms of finances. And so when you have a volunteer that steps up and wants to be part of it and just basically runs with it, it's just a blessing. And I think also volunteers is so important because it helps to foster belonging as well in community. Because they're encouraged to help out, they feel they're part of it. And so there's ownership there, there's belonging, and there's just an understanding of we're all part of this together. Essentially what happens is there's only one person here monitoring to make sure that it's staying on, and whether it's the speaker or the piano player, they just slowly rotate, and that's all we do. Maybe we position it on the band, we come back to the speaker. If there's another person maybe speaking right here, then we would position it like that. But that's essentially the entire setup of our broadcast. I believe that the best thing that we can do, what I would encourage people that want to get into virtual streaming, is to think about what is your motivation behind it first. Is your motivation to start an online ministry? Is your motivation to be able to provide a different way for your own people to see the service? Or do you have some other motivation? And then you need to go from there, because if your motivation is for other people to see your service, you don't need to spend lots of money to be able to do that. It's very simple. Yes, it's not TV quality, but what it does is it gives an opportunity to be able to share your message and to be able to enable people to watch it. I think that it's just important that you just check your motivation and make sure that you are understanding that it's easy to do if you choose to go a simple route and keep it simple. At the end of this, we would hit stop. After I hit record, there's an ability to stop, and then we'd publish to Facebook, and that is our whole thing. It's a public post. I guess the only other thing that I want to mention is that there is an ability to describe what people are watching, so we always put the date, and usually we put the title of the message for the sermon. And that's all we do. I think that the new reality of ministry is that if we want to connect to as many people as possible, this is the opportunity to do so. I think that I will be very frank, and we need to make sure to check our egos and understand that it's not, the Jim and Tammy show, aging myself there. But it just gives an opportunity to get the message out. And I think this is our new reality going forward, is that if we want to try to build community, the community includes the virtual world as well.